Hello guys and welcome back to TNT Madness. Today we're going to be looking at something that is quite advanced and quite big, but is really practical for what it actually does. So this thing is called a Slab Buster, and essentially what a Slab Buster is it is a TNT cannon that fires out a bunch of TNT in a really condensed area, just a whole lot more of it, like a compressor cannon. Then it fires out TNT on a top module, which you'll see in front of me now, which is on the top of the cannon, which then fires out TNT on the top of the module, which then fires above the TNT when it hits the wall, pushing the TNT all the way down to the bottom. It works a bit like a sand stacker, but not exactly, because it destroys slabs and cobwebs. So the main use for this is essentially that, destroying slabs so you can make a giant pillar of sand for your hybrid cannon, or getting rid of cobwebs so they don't get caught in the sand, so sand doesn't get caught in them. And that's the whole reason this cannon exists, and quite a few faction players that are experienced at the game do use it. So anyway, let's take a look at this thing in action. Okay guys, so I'm just down here and we have got 10 layers of slabs, and then we've got a giant 120 block high wall, which is going to show you how the cannon works. And what it's got to do is fire TNT there, which will push all the TNT down here and destroy hopefully all of these slabs, which is relatively impressive. So if we go up here, we can see I've got a cannon over here and a cannon over here. This is just because they not varied on range, so you can just fire one really close and then one very far, and all it is that some of the timing has changed. So if we come here and press the button, we can see TNT gets dispensed, whole lot gets dispensed in the middle there, then TNT gets pushed here, fired down, and all the TNT is pushed down the bottom here. And then as you can see, it destroys a huge amount of slabs. And if this was sand or cobwebs, it would destroy all of that, so you would get rid of all the defenses. And as you can see, it left a huge hole even back here because it's not even with here. And it just does a whole lot of damage and is extremely practical for that one reason. It'll actually sometimes be more practical on faction servers because they have different density set. So yeah, if we come over to the back one here, it essentially does the same thing. Okay, so if we come back here and press the button, we can see the exact same thing happens. TNT gets dispensed and then it gets fired out to the distance. Whole lot of it gets fired and then it gets fired downwards and destroys an even bigger area, as you could just see there. The reason it didn't render is because of 1.8, it just doesn't render all the stuff, but as you could see, more slabs got destroyed, and if that was a flat thing, it would do the same amount of damage that this one does here. So this thing is quite practical for that, but anyway, let's take a look at the redstone. So now I'm going to be talking about how the redstone works and how you should actually use this thing. So if you are going to be using this thing, I would recommend you just use it if someone has got a giant base and they have tons of defense, and you can't use a general hybrid cannon because they have got sand and cactus and cobwebs and slabs, and you just need to get rid of them as fast as possible. Then this cannon is going to be your savior because it's going to get rid of them just like that. So that's if you don't have a situation like that though, if you can just use a hybrid cannon or compressed cannon, then go for it, because the only reason you'd use this is normally if you're going to raid a big base, or at least how I do it, is I make a cannon like this, and then I make a sand stacker, which I will be doing next week, and then I go back to my hybrid compressed cannon. And that just does the job extremely well, and it takes a lot less time than going through a million other giant cannons than building 100 by 100 cannon. But anyway, how this works is down here we've got our redstone, which then activates all these dispensers. Then it fires off all this 20 barrel of TNT, which is going to be your propellant. And then after that, since the reason it's a tick after is because this TNT fires all the TNT up to this very slab here, which then gives you the most propellant possible for firing everything. So that's why this exists. So the next thing that we have here is we've got a total of 22 ticks. The reason this is on 2 is just for timing reasons of this. And then after that it goes to a piece of redstone on here and a comparator here. This comparator here just allows you to fire your giant 5 dispensers. It's not like a compressor cannon that just uses 2. It fires a total of 5, taking up from about 16 to an average of 40 per shot. So next thing we have after that is this just takes the redstone output up here and fires it and activates this thing here, which all it does is deactivate the piston and then reactivate it. And this actually took a long time to get right because you have to use a wooden button for this or the timing of this wouldn't work. And then the thing we have after this is we just take an output up here, which then fires off the TNT up here, which dispenses them, and then after the piston gets pushed back, they get pushed into this barrel here and then pushed out to this top barrel here. So after this propellant is fired off, then it fires this propellant as well as this giant section up here, and the section up here fires all the way along the top, until it goes out the barrel. That's why the barrel is so long, so it can be extremely accurate. And then after that, this TNT fires out the bottom, and the only reason the barrel is so long is so that it can be as straight as possible, because when the TNT hits here, the TNT has to fire dead on the button, so it fires straight down, so it is extremely accurate, and that's why it goes straight down and you don't see it flying everywhere. So that's pretty much how this works. So anyway, let's take a look at the tutorial. So the next bit we're going to be building is the actual cannon bit, where you're going to have all your dispensers, which is relatively popular in my compressed cannon, so it's quite simple and I've made it quite a few times. So the first thing you want to do is place down 3 dispensers like so around you, then you want to place a block here and here, followed by 2 by 5 areas of dispensers on either side of the cannon to create a total of 20 propellant, which is just going to allow you to fire it really far. Next thing you want to do is just place a couple of blocks here so the TNT can't overshoot. Then you want to come back here and place down your water in the middle, so the TNT will go force this way and the other TNT will be forced down that way. So after that, you want to place a block down the back here with redstone on the side like so, with your button there. Then you want to place redstone repeater set to 1 tick delay. Then you want to place redstone along the top here, and then you are done. So the first thing I'm going to be making is the barrel on this diamond bit, so I've just made this front bit here to save time. You're going to need to make it 4 high and a little roof like this with slabs along the side. So if we come along 4 blocks like so, and then place blocks along here, you do actually not need blocks in this little bit here, it just looks a little bit nicer if you do. So if we place all our blocks along here like so, then you have finished your barrel. You just have to make it a total of 12 blocks long. So after you've done that, we can work on the actual cannon bit. So the next bit we're going to be building is the actual cannon bit, where you're going to have all your dispensers, which is relatively popular in my compressed cannon, so it's quite simple and I've made it quite a few times. So the first thing you want to do is place down 3 dispensers like so around you, then you want to place a block here and here, followed by 2 by 5 areas of dispensers on either side of the cannon to create a total of 20 propellant, which is just going to allow you to fire it really far. Next thing you want to do is just place a couple of blocks here so the TNT can't overshoot. Then you want to come back here and place down your water in the middle, so the TNT will go force this way and the other TNT will be forced down that way. So after that, you want to place a block down the back here with redstone on the side like so, with your button there. Then you want to place redstone repeater set to 1 tick delay. Then you want to place redstone along the top here, and then you are done. So the next thing we're going to be doing is placing in the dispensers in this barrel bit. So the first thing you want to do is we want to destroy 2 blocks on the side like here and over here. Then you want to place a dispenser facing down and a block here. Okay guys, so the next thing I'm going to be doing is destroying a couple of blocks here, so that way it's easy to build around this thing, and the reason we placed a block there is so when the TNT gets fired in this little section, the TNT firing from down here does not somehow get up here. So next thing we're going to build is the little thing in here, so what you want to do is just destroy the blocks around it. Then we want to place down 2 dispensers here, and a dispenser here, and then we want to go back 1 block and place down a piston here. Also, the reason the TNT can be placed in here is because it's being placed in a transparent block, so it's just going to go up a block until it's being fired, so that way you can save some space really easily. Now we're going to make the little repeater line along the side here. So the first thing we want to do is place down redstone, then get out 6 repeaters and place the first one on 2 ticks, followed by 5 set on 4 ticks to get a total of 22 ticks. Then you want to place a block on the top like so with a comparator, right click it and then place blocks around it like so, and then you want to destroy that block, place redstone here, place another block along here that you want to be a slab. So after you've done that, you can place a slab there, place another block there, then you can place another block here, and then all you want to do is run your redstone along here along all these dispensers. So this redstone here will power both of these 2 dispensers, and these 2, a bit like how these will work, because this redstone will power this block, which will then activate that block down there. And the reason it doesn't power this dispenser here is because it's facing this way, so it will not interfere at all. Next thing we want to do is make the little section for the piston up here. So what you want to do is place a block here, followed by a block on top like so. Then you want to place a temporary block here and place a slab along the side like there. Then you want to place redstone here, here, and here. So sorry about that, just for some reason I keep getting extreme lag spikes when I record. So next thing I want to do is place a block there with repeater set to 4 ticks delay. Then you want to come along and place a block here. Then you want to come around the back here and place a redstone torch here. And this will power the piston. I still don't know or understand why it does that, but it's always worked for me and it's great for redstone torches, redstone torch keys, so I'm not going to worry about. So next thing you want to do is just place a block like here and then you are done with this section. So the final part is bringing up the redstone up to this little area up here. So the first thing you want to do is go back 3 blocks from this dispenser here, place down a block on the side like so, and yet again place another slab on the side, so that way you can place redstone so it goes on top like so. After that you want to come along by 1 block, place a redstone repeater set to 4 ticks delay, and then you can either place down the block here or on top, and place redstone here, and then bring along 2 more blocks, as well as a block here, and this thing actually needs to be a slab so it does not interfere with the redstone down here. So that is pretty much it. So that's pretty much it for this video. You have now finished your giant Slab Buster cannon, and it is relatively small compared to some of the bigger ones. Just look it up on YouTube and you'll find some absolutely giant ones. And now you can go along here and hopefully your raiding life will be a lot easier. But anyway, hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, hit that like button, and if you want to see the 2 videos they have a week, then hit that subscribe button. But anyway, goodbye from TNT Madness.